Hi, everybody. Chantal DeYoe here with Chantal's Bookkeeping. We've been talking about the chart of accounts and the different parts of that, trying to kind of wrap our heads around things at a very easy level. I want to do the same thing with basic financial reports to try to demystify them just a little bit and help you feel a little more comfortable around them. The most common report that we ever run across is called the profit and loss report. It goes by other names though too. Sometimes you'll hear the term income statement. That's a very common name for it. You might also hear income and expense. All right. There's another one that's different. It's called statement of activity. Now that particular term means this exact same report as what you see here in our sample company, but it is a phrase or a term that is used in the nonprofit world. Statement of activity. They instead of saying profit and loss, they talk about the statement of activity because as a nonprofit, the thinking is that they don't make a profit, so we don't want to call it a income statement or a profit loss sheet. I tend to like profit and loss or income and expense because there are two basic parts to this thing: the money that you earn, as we've defined it on the chart of accounts, and the money that you spend. Okay. So we've got the income section here. All right. And then we've got the money that we spend, the expenses section down here. Notice we've also got that special cost of goods portion that we've talked about, where that means that in general is money that is spent for the specific purpose of making money. For example, building materials for a construction company or food supplies for somebody in the food industry, expenses that are directly related to making money. Down here in our expense section, it's more like the general operating costs for the business. Now, that's not hard and fast rules because you can see even in this sample, they've got job expenses for their little sample company down here in the expense section. So it really just depends on what you want, what your accountants and tax preparers recommend, what you have to do in order for any loans or reporting to the board, or in the case of nonprofits, grant applications and things like that. We also end up with the sections that we've talked about, the other income and other expenses. Now, I don't have an other income item in here, but it would show up right there if we did. In fact, we could put one in real quick, but I'm not going to take the time. So it's pretty simple. Money that comes in, and then we've got money that goes out in two forms: cost of goods and expenses. And then we've got the other miscellaneous things, the little one-off things or the very small things. We'd have other income and other expenses down here. And you can see that we've got some subtotals here. This one called gross profit and net operating income, and then net income at the bottom. This is what we call the bottom line. I'm sure you've all heard that term. It just means after all of our money comes in and after all of our money goes out, how much money did we make? That's what we're all looking for, that bottom line. And so in a very, very simple sense, that's what we're looking at on the profit and loss statement. Okay, join me again for another one. We'll talk about another report. Thank you very much.